Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings to Prof. Mazlina and Sir Hafiz. So our group will be presenting on tourist perception towards local handicraft business in Sarawak. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Daniel Syami bin Muhammad Noor and my partner is Nur Ain Husina binti Muhammad Abil Hafiz.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Nur Ain Husina binti Muhammad Abel Hafiz. This is our presentation outline. First, we have introduction, problem statement, research objective and research question, research framework and hypothesis, literature review, research methodology, result and analysis, discussion and implication, limitation and future study, and last is conclusion. Since locally produced handicrafts are now an essential aspect of the tourism experience in many destinations, the study on how tourists view local handicraft enterprises is important in the context of global tourism. According to UNWTO estimations, handicrafts have a potential yearly worth of $10 billion and represent approximately 10% of the world's tourism economy. In addition to giving local people a means of support, handicrafts also help to preserve cultural heritage and advance sustainable development. Previous studies have emphasized the significance of cultural heritage and identity in influencing the choices and actions of tourists. For example, Kim and Lee's research discovered that visitors are more inclined to buy handicrafts that they consider to be genuine and traditional. In a similar vein, Huang and Cheng research found that handicrafts that represent the traditional values and beliefs of a community or area attract visitors. This result implied that local handicraft companies might increase their competitiveness and visitor appeal by using culture, history, and identity. Next, Next is the European Travel Commission raised an international effort to promote ecologically friendly tourism and development in 1973 by Leslie. There are many ways to experience sustainable tourism, such as choosing accommodation that is locally grown, business, buying authentic handicraft, and many more. There are many factors that could entitle that act to be one of the sustainable tourism. The purpose of this presentation is to thoroughly investigate the factors on tourist behavior towards supporting local handicraft businesses, as well as to discover the opportunities and challenges associated with promoting sustainable behavior among tourists. The implication of this study is to get more participation from tourists to do sustainable elements during their travel. Now, I will present problem statement. According to studies, the world economy may lose 10% of its entire economic value by 2050 as a result of climate change. As a result of the climate change and economic hurdles that are currently happening globally, the term sustainable has been getting more and more attention. Since it might be applied to any other tourist research interest, the word sustainable tourism seems better viewed as a universal value rather than a research focus. Unfortunately, tourism can have several impact on the environment by destroying ecosystem, contaminating the air, and harming biodiversity. Academicians, art enthusiasts, and practitioners in Malaysia have been long been interested in the value and sustainability of traditional arts and crafts. There's there was there was research which is Zuma Hiran in 2013 has emphasized that cultural themes are significant in the foreground of traditional craft that are incorporate local characteristics. Regarding the heritage values embedded in the handicraft, tourism has an impact on the trade practices and financial status of the craft people who perform tourism related activities. The economy and tourism are both greatly impacted by craft tourism. Handicrafts are sold to tourists as souvenirs that represent the vacation experience. However, they are frequently active in local, regional, and national events in handicraft tourism. Having said that, handmade items should be strategically placed and involve some type of commercialization in trade shows and other tourism-related events. Last is in the Sungai Asap Resettlement Scheme of Belaga in Sarawak, a study by Farida, Anna, and Spencer among the Orang Ulu, which they are some of from Kayan, Kenyah, Badeng, Bukat, and Penan, discovered that the region development project have been altered the physically landscape, leading to a shortage of construction materials in terms of quantity and diversity. These elements have an impact on traditional craft making practices and are now the principal obstacle facing Orang Ulu craft artists in their efforts to preserve their legacy and customs. Next is our research question and research objectives. This study consists of three research objectives and three research questions, which is RO1 and RQ1 is the relationship between cultural value of local made handicraft with the tourist acceptance. Then RO2 and RQ2 is highlighting the relationship between eco-friendly local made handicraft with the tourist acceptance. And last one, the tourist acceptance towards local made handicraft businesses and to examine the tourist acceptance towards local handicraft businesses. First research question is what is the relationship between cultural value of handicraft and tourist acceptance? Next is what is the relationship between eco-friendly handmade handicraft and tourist acceptance? And last is how are tourists accepting local handicraft businesses? While the research objectives are to examine the relationship between cultural value of local made handicraft with the tourist acceptance. Next is to examine the relationship between eco-friendly made handicraft with the tourist acceptance and to examine the tourist acceptance towards local made handicraft businesses. For our research framework and hypothesis, it has been adapted by Alma Mari et al. 2021. In the proposed research framework, the proportions of cultural value and eco-friendly towards local-made handicraft with the tourist perception. These measurements were chosen from a variety of studies based on tourist perception of the local-made handicraft. The research hypotheses have two hypotheses, which are the relationship between cultural value of local-made handicraft influence tourist acceptance to purchase, and the second hypothesis is the relationship between eco-friendly local-made handicraft influence tourist acceptance to purchase. The significance of this work fits perfectly around the world today. Crafts offer an insight into the culture, history, and aesthetic expression of the region as a whole. They frequently feature vintage patterns, motifs, and methods that have been handed down through the years. In this method, the research might give benefits for people, especially for tourists, as they are traveling around the world and buying local made handicraft to be remembrance. These products can be used by tourists as meaningful gifts that help the community's economy and maintain traditional crafts.
Next is the literature review. We have two, which is IV, DV. For the first IV, which is the cultural value, human conduct is shaped by culture, which inspires consumers to act in particular ways. Based on Dameya Sani and Abraham 2013, culture is a significant factor in shaping consumer behavior. Next, for the variable of eco-friendly, based on Hossein 2022, the term eco-friendly refers to products and materials that do not harm the environment because these kind of products support sustainable living and also the production practices that use fewer or different types of resources. And also there are dependent variable, which is the tourist acceptance based on 2003 stated by Robbins, which is the result gained by the individual through sensory experiences that are analyzed, described, and assessed.
For our research methodology, first of all, our research design we use quantitative research and descriptive research. For our sample and population, we have tourists, and for the sample, tourists that visited Sarawak. We use non-probability sampling as it is convenient sampling for research. Next is instrument development, which we have divided into three sections. Firstly, demographic profile, independent variable question, and dependent variable question. Our survey, we use Likert scale and nominal scale. For the pilot study, we collected 30 respondents. Then, for the data collection process, we use online survey, which is Google Form. We chose respondents that have experience that traveling to Sarawak. 150 valid respondents were successfully obtained. Lastly, for our data analysis, of course, we use SPSS, Cronbach Alpha for reliability tests, descriptive analysis for research objective 1 and 2. We use multiple linear regression to get inferential statistic for objective 3 and hypothesis, which are H1 and H2.
For the hypothesis development, first is cultural value influences tourist acceptance. Based on UNESCO 2003, many people around the world enjoy handmade objects that are imbued with the accumulated knowledge and cultural values of the craftspeople, in which offer a softer alternative to the numerous high-tech items that dominate global consumer culture. It was also discovered that culture not only influences consumer preferences, attitudes, and behavior, but also it shapes the consumer's needs and desires, based on Venkatesh 1995. In the context of cultural differences around the world, cultural considerations have a substantial influence on consumer impulsive buying behavior. Maheswaran and Shavit 2000. Next is eco-friendly factor influences tourist acceptance. So, based on Gudi Metla and Chiranjeevi 2014, the strength of traditional handicraft is not only preserving the rich culture heritage, traditional wisdom of its glorious past as a source of international revenue or generating rural employment, but it is rather important for the fact that they are very environmental friendly. Batia Engine 2013 also included a brief overview of environmental challenges, green products, green consumer practices, and consumer awareness. The results showed that green values among consumers were found to be high. Next is the results and analysis. So I will be presenting on the respondent profile. There are four demographic, which is the race, gender, age group, and also marital status. For the first demographic, which is the race, majority of our respondents were Malay, and followed by others, which is Iban, Melanau, Bidayo, and also followed by Chinese at 6%. And also for the gender, the female group has more respondent in our survey than male group at 58% as compared to 42%. So for the age group, majority of our respondents were aged between 18 to 25 years old at 77.3%, followed by 26 to 35 years old at 18%, and 36 to 45 years old at 4.7%. And most of our respondents are not married, single, as they have the percentage of 83.3%. After that, in order to conduct a reliability test, Cronbach's alpha has been used. There are three variables, which is cultural value, eco-friendly, and tourist acceptance. The range of the Cronbach alpha are from 0.731 to 0.812, which shows that the three variables are acceptable for this study. Next is the analysis. In order to answer the research question for cultural value and eco-friendly, a descriptive analysis that produce a mean score has been undertaken. So for the first research question, what is the relationship between cultural value of handicraft and tourist acceptance? What we get from our research is that the range mean scores of cultural value were from 4.27 to 4.45. Tourists agreed that cultural value of handicraft could captivate them into purchasing one. The variety of ethnicities and culture makes the choice of handicrafts wider and more to choose. For the research question 2, what is the relationship between eco-friendly made handicraft and tourist acceptance? What we get from our research is that the range mean scores of eco-friendly were from 3.63 to 4.31. Tourists agreed that eco-friendly handicraft attract them to purchase from the local craft businesses, and also locally made handicraft that is eco-friendly and sustainable could increase tourist satisfaction and their purchasing power. To answer objective 3 and hypothesis 1 and 2, multiple linear regression analysis has been used. The table presents that the value of R square is 0.64, which shows that the independent variable contributed 64% to the dependent variable. The other 36% is influenced by other factors. Based on the table, both of the independent variables are significant with the p-value, which is below than 0.001. Thus, both hypotheses are accepted. The beta for cultural value 0.498 and the t-statistics is 5.258, which is higher as compared to the factor of eco-friendly, which holds the beta at 0.217 and the t-statistics is 2.293. Therefore, this demonstrated that the elements of cultural value is a strong predictor as compared to eco-friendly. Next is the discussion. First of all is the cultural value. Based on our research and our survey, a majority of the respondents are satisfied and would recommend others to buy handicrafts that have a meaning from a unique culture and ethnicities. Quoted from Damija 1975, handicrafts have been kept for generations without losing their fundamental quality. The second point is eco-friendly. The respondents in our research are in agreement that producing handicraft using natural material and also handmade without using any machines to producing it are better in many aspects. According to Hall 2013, tourists are increasingly demanding environmentally friendly products and expressing a desire to engage in sustainable consumption.
Now I will present the implication of our research. Tourist appreciation for handicraft may play a significant role in promoting sustainable tourism practices that benefit local people and preserve the environment. By actively promoting locally crafted handicraft, destinations may effectively decrease their dependence on mass produced souvenirs and encourage a more genuine and environmentally friendly travel experience. Tourist acceptance of handicraft may have beneficial effects on local communities, tourism growth, cultural preservation, and social harmony, and it also providing support for locally produced handicraft. Destination have the capacity to increase the authenticity, sustainability, and cultural diversity of their tourist offers. Additionally, this approach creates valuable economic possibilities for local craftsmen and communities. Furthermore, this is our limitation and future study. The possession of handicraft among visitors is a complicated and diverse matter, influenced by several cultural, economic, and personal variables. By comprehending and addressing these misconceptions, places may effectively promote and bolster local made handicraft companies and elevate the entire tourist experience for guests. Here are some tips for marketing and supporting local made handicraft companies based on the strong implications of acceptability towards them. First and foremost, foster cultural exchange and cross cultural understanding. Destinations must actively encourage cultural exchange and cross cultural understanding by promoting local artisans and their craft, as well as by organizing cultural events and workshops that highlight traditional craftsmanship and cultural heritage. Furthermore, it is crucial to assist local companies and communities. Destinations should ensure that these firms and communities have access to essential resources such as funding, training, and marketing. This may be accomplished by forging alliances between local handicraft enterprises and tourist players, while also giving them access to local markets and distribution channels. Lastly, promote sustainability and environmental conservation. Destinations must promote sustainability and environmental conservation by encouraging the use of eco friendly and sustainable handicraft, as well as supporting local craft people in adopting environmentally friendly materials and manufacturing processes. This may be accomplished by providing them access to sustainable production technology and resources, while also advocating for sustainable tourist practices that bolster local communities and preserve the environment. By applying these ideas, locations may effectively promote local made handicraft, actively assist local communities, and significantly improve the entire tourist experience for visitors. Consequently, this may actively contribute to the economic, social, and cultural growth of the destination while also preserving the promoting traditional craftsmanship. In conclusion, handicraft businesses are defined as small scale firms that create handicrafted objects utilizing traditional processes or materials. These companies often function in rural or traditional areas where skilled artisans produce textiles or ceramic utilizing local resources and cultural traditions. Tourists often express interest in acquiring knowledge about the traditional craftsmanship processes used in the production of these goods, and they value the chance to contribute to local communities by buying handicraft. Moreover, handicraft firms sometimes provide a cultural experience for visitors by demonstration by providing demonstrations or seminars on traditional artisan skills. The study conducted to explore tourists' perception towards local handicraft businesses revealed that tourists have a positive perception of these businesses. The results show that tourists appreciate local handicraft as they provide a unique and authentic souvenir of their travel experience. Tourists also perceive local handicraft businesses as an opportunity to support local communities by promoting traditional craft and preserving cultural heritage. The friendliness and hospitality shown by local shopkeepers further enhance tourist perception towards these businesses. The research was done towards tourists that visited Sarawak, Malaysia, and sought to investigate the variables that impact visitor approval of local handicraft companies. The finding demonstrated that the excellence of handicraft, the amiability and expertise of the shopkeepers, the accessibility of distinctive and genuine items, and the atmosphere and tidiness of the stores were influential variables in determining visitor approval. The survey further discovered that visitors were inclined to buy handicraft local expert sorry, from local enterprises that offer competitive rates and convenient places. That's all from us. Thank you for your time and we appreciate this opportunity to present our final year project. Have a nice day. Assalamualaikum.